The 2024 NFL Draft is exactly 3 weeks away from Thursday. New York Post Giants beat writer Paul Schwartz has his Giants 7-round NFL mock draft 1.0 on the Post website. That's the first of 4, and he's here to break things down. Paul, how did this mock draft come about before we get into it? Give us the details on how these players were selected.
You play darts?
Yeah, I do.
Dart? I just threw names on a dartboard, and all right, whatever. It came close. Look, I didn't play darts, but the mock drafts are, I went through a simulation. There's all different ones. This is Pro Football Network simulation, so it's not just me saying, you run them. You have certain variables you want to use as far as team needs, things like that. It's not overly scientific, certainly, but it's my knowledge of what the Giants need and somewhat knowledge of what they're thinking about some of these players. And then you see how the board drops, just like the GMs say, well, see how the board fell. And then I make my semi-educated picks. Now, there'll be 4 of these. So I think I know that I will try to, really hone in. So the last one, which comes the day before the real draft, is the one that's going to be closest to what I think could happen, but it's fun. Look, everyone likes mock drafts. You take them for what they are. They're mock drafts, the word mock, right? No one likes being mocked, but everyone likes mock drafts. So, it's fun.
All right, let's have fun with this then. I'll be Commissioner Brandon London Goodell, and you'll be Paul Joe Shane Schwartz on this one, all right? Let's start with the first round. And with the 6th pick of the 2024 NFL Draft, the New York Football Giants select...
Well, first of all, before I even select, we're not going to a commercial, but if you're the commissioner, then you're making a heck of a lot of money, right? Commissioner Brandon London?
Yes,
I am. You
are
making a lot of money. You look good, but you can look even better. A lot of money. Okay, with the first pick, 6th overall, the Giants take Washington wide receiver Rome Odunze. Okay, first of all, I think he's a great player. Okay, period. I think he could be the number 1 receiver in most years. Second of all, in this simulation, it's not just in a vacuum. In this simulation, 3 quarterbacks are already gone, okay? Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Jaden Daniels are gone. And in this simulation, 2 receivers are already taken, Malik Neighbors and Marvin Harrison Jr. That's the way they came off the board in this simulation. So you have the best offensive tackle, Joe Alt from Notre Dame, sitting there. But I think the Giants go wide receiver. Brandon, you are a tall wide receiver, right? Rome Odunze is 6'3", 212. He has got great size. Yep. He's got terrific speed. 92 catches, 16 touchdowns last year for Washington, and he never met a contested catch he didn't like.
Yep.
He just gets the ball. Yep. He runs great routes. You've seen videos. He can run a screen. He's the complete package. And I would say, a lot of scouts like Neighbors better, and a lot of scouts like Odunze better. And I would say not every scout has Marvin Harrison as number 1. These are 3 terrific receivers in this class. And Odunze's a bigger, maybe a little less in the separation than Neighbors, but I don't know what you think of him. I think he's a tremendous prospect.
Well, when you talk 50-50 balls, Paul, it's a 50-50 ball league, and you see a lot of receivers are able to shine in the NFL because they come down with that 50-50 ball the majority of the time. Neighbors, Harrison Jr., they're great picks, but you can't. I hope fans aren't looking at Odunze as a compilation prize or something like that. He is the real deal and as good as advertised. Just go back and watch that Texas game. Friday is when the 2nd round kicks off with the 47th pick of the draft. The Giants select.
All right, now we start getting somewhere, right? Quarterback from Washington. We have a pattern here. Washington, Michael Penix Jr. Okay, now I'm not sure the Giants really like him a lot, but I think this is a value pick at number 47 overall. Now, when this pick came out on the website and in the New York Post in the print edition, I got a lot of feedback from people saying he won't be there at 47. That's what happens in these mock drafts. When you take a guy, half the people say it's a good pick, half the people say it's a bad pick, and a lot of people say, well, good pick, but he won't be there. Someone has to be there at 47. What I believe, Brandon, is that Michael Penix Jr. is viewed differently from the fans, some segments of the media, and the GM population at large in the NFL. I don't think the GM population at large in the NFL loves Michael Penix Jr. I don't. He's had 2 ACLs. 2 right ACLs. Those are serious injuries. He does not run like he used to. He's pretty much a pocket guy right now. He's 6'2", 216, very average size. He's lefty. Some teams are a little funky about, now your blindside protector is your right tackle, not your left tackle. I don't think the Giants are overly concerned about that. But why did I take him at 47 then, high in the second round? He is a beautiful thrower of the football. Beautiful. No one in this draft throws a better deep ball. Those are, I asked Rome Odunze at the Combine, can you explain what that looks like when it's coming down? He said, it's the prettiest thing you've ever seen. It is the spiral, the spin. This guy spins it better than anyone in the draft. He's not the best quarterback in this draft, but I think in the second round where this is, it is a reasonable risk for a guy who has an injury history. But he throws the ball beautifully. So, that's a good start for a quarterback.
And that's great in terms of creating quarterback competition. I understand what Joe Shane has said about Daniel Jones, and Brian Dable has said the same thing about he would be that day one starter if he's healthy. But when you got a rookie that can sling it and throw and push the ball downfield, and you've got receivers that are completing those passes, not only does that capture the attention of the fans in the front office, but your teammates start to notice as well. And what's one thing that the Giants liked last year? Explosive plays, big throws down the field. So if you got a guy that can come in, compete, and throw that deep ball, then it's anyone's competition at that point. Saturday, rounds 4 through 7. The Giants don't have themselves a 7th round pick. So who do they take in the 5th, 4th, 5th, and 6th rounds?
One more quick thing on Michael Penix Jr.
Okay.
He's 24 years old, okay? So that's not ideal for a rookie. He was in Indiana for a bunch of years. He was at Washington. He's well-seasoned, but, 24, he won't have to play right away with the Giants. But, he's just a funky prospect, but he throws the ball beautifully. So I think someone will certainly gamble on him, low first, high second round. I do. As far as, look, as you said, the Giants only have 6 picks. They got to make these count. In the 3rd round, yes, there is defense in the football. I get it, right? So the Giants take Chris Jenkins, defensive tackle from Michigan with the 70th overall pick. You remember Chris Jenkins, 4-time Pro Bowler, his father with the Panthers and the Jets. Terrific interior defensive lineman. This is his son. Now, he's only 299 pounds. So he's not the ideal size, bulk you want, at that spot in the interior of the defensive line, but he's quick. He can rush the passer. He's aggressive, relentless. Michigan was really good up front this past season. That's why they, one of the reasons they won the national championship. And with A'Shawn Robinson leaving, the Giants liked A'Shawn Robinson, but he got good money to go to the Panthers. 3 years, $22 million. The Giants were not going to come close to matching that. So this is a guy who will, they have some guys, Nunes Roches, and they like Jordan Riley, and they have Davidson. This is another guy to add to the mix in the 3rd round. 4th round, we don't know what Darren Waller is doing, do we? We don't know if he's coming back to play tight end or not. So the Giants have made some low-end signings at tight end. They still have Daniel Bellinger coming back. They have Lawrence Cager coming back. They need a little pass-catching moxie at that position. I have them taking Cade Stover, tight end from Ohio State, good pass catcher. 245 or so pounds, a better receiver than he is a blocker. You can work with that. You can even split him out wide a little bit. So more talent to add to the mix. The Giants would like to know before the draft, and I think they will if Waller is coming back. If he's coming back, maybe they don't make that pick here. 5th round, I know everyone wants offensive linemen. Around the league, when teams take offensive linemen in the draft, sometimes it's boring. With the Giants, everyone, says a Hail Mary and salutes because everyone knows they need offensive linemen. Javon Foster, offensive tackle from Missouri, looks the part, long arms, big guy. So I think, add into the mix, right? Add into the mix, add into the talent pool. Lord knows last year when they had injuries on the offensive line, it was a big problem. And their last pick in the 6th round, a running back, Isaac Gorendo. He started his college career at Wisconsin, was a good player there, but was injury prone. He needed to be healthy this past year. He went to Louisville. He was healthy. He had a good year. Now, Brandon, I know you'll like this, right? 221 pounds, right? Big dude, 4.33.
Ooh.
Okay. He can run and he's powerful. He's not the perfect running back. He's not, but he's big and he's powerful. In the 6th round, that's what you take. No Saquon Barkley. They have Devin Singletary. They have Eric Gray and Jay Sean Corbin and Gary Brightwell. It's not exactly a murderer's row. So add a running back who has traits. Big, strong, and fast is not bad traits for running back. So I think it makes sense at number 6th round.
From that last day, 3 through 6, who could you see coming in and being a day one starter?
Jenkins, possibly. Not Garendo because they have, running back's not going to start. You have Singletary. Probably none of them, and that's okay. Jenkins, maybe. These guys usually don't start. You know what I mean? Now, if they drafted a guard in the 4th round, could it be a David Deal type guy and start? Sure. But I don't have them doing that. And the Giants seem set at their guard position right now, pretty much, signing John Runyon. He's going to start at one guard. Illuminor, he could be a starting guard if he doesn't beat out Evan Neal at right tackle. So I think they could be okay there. Look, it's 6 picks is not a lot of picks. Sometimes they have 7, 8, 9 picks. So, but Joe Schoen knew that. That's why he signed a lot of low-end free agents the past couple of weeks to fill out that roster. He'll have at least 6 guys. Not a lot of maneuverability though here, right? Brian Burns is a terrific addition, but they have to give up a 2nd-round pick to get him. So now they only have 1 2nd-round pick. So I don't see a lot of maneuverability to trade up in this draft if they really, really want a quarterback. That I think will be difficult to do.
Paul, when's the next mock draft come out?
1 week. 1 week we'll do. Look, I can't do them every day. Okay, I don't want to change them every day. So once a week, I think they'll be out every Wednesday. From here on until the draft. And, a lot of people do mock drafts. I do put time and effort into it, but I take it seriously without taking it too seriously because everyone's lying. There's a lot of smoke. There's a lot of mirrors. I'm not in the Giants draft room, although I did leave my digital recorder in there. So hopefully I'm getting some good data back from, hopefully Joe Schoen and Dave Bolton, the guys haven't found it. And I'm getting all this great intel on what's going on behind the scenes. Look, it's great. Fans love it. Media loves it. You love it. I love it. Yeah. The draft is fascinating. It's the best way it's the most important way to build your roster. And, these next 2 or 3 weeks will be filled with a lot of chatter and it's all fun.
Now we know if you put out per sources, we know the source is the digital recorder. We're going to check back in with you next week, Paul. Thanks for coming on today.
All right, Brandon. Thank you.